without the rest of his team being there, and because you've got the Kestrel on Detonation, it's very easy to get away from that Koshka with the active camera when you need to.
ViviQuiz has gone for the Ardent once more. Now, where are we going to round this out with Detonation Gaming? Fuji, what would you like to see?
I mean, I feel like the Ardent already kind of takes away a particular strategy I would have liked to look at. With Lyra off the board, you cannot combine the Rhyme Lyra we talked about into this composition with the Adagio and the Koshka. They do go for the Gwen though, so interesting. We don't actually know where the Kestrel's going to end up, most likely on Tatsuki in the jungle, because that's where he likes to do most of his pressure from. Whatever Velocity does here is going to set the tone for where this Gwen ends up, whether it's Weapon or Crystal.
I think you really need a lot of range here from Velocity. Celeste would have been my pick. They've gone for the Sky instead for a little bit more repositioning in the team fights.
So, Fuji, with double range, Adagio,
I would absolutely put the CP on Gwen because you have Kestrel for the early game.
To push up, so allows the laner to rotate down to the jungle to help out in any potential skirmishes. But this way, you're not going to see that happen because both of them are using them at the same time. But with Velocity, you're expecting these early fights because I don't think Detonation Gaming should be able to win these unless Velocity make a massive misplay early on. So I think they recognize that they're going up to the lane.
Yeah, they do not want to make that misplay here, and it's going to be Zio rotating down to the shop. So he will have that first advantage as he picks up his boots here. And I think that's actually pretty important for him as he's up in that lane up against the Gwen to be able to have a little bit extra mobility.
It's definitely going to be super important. And one thing I want to be seeing coming out from Destination Gaming is getting that early vision down. And I think ViviQuiz, his vision later on was really, really strong with the scout traps, with the flares. But at the beginning, it was weak. Velocity are the ones that are constantly putting down mines, and he didn't really have any.
Well, speaking of the scout traps, Aloha, he is on the backs of his opponents, and he drops his own scout trap over there. So it's a really nice play. It's giving him a little bit of extra knowledge exactly where Detonation is rotating. And this is something we've heard Fuji talk about before. Like, you don't always have to just let your roamer put this vision down across the map. A lot of times, if you just carry it yourself, you can get something down that maybe your roamer wouldn't have the ability to do.
Hang on. Oh, no.
Hang on right here. Zio and crew are moving in. Tatsuki taking a lot of damage. Level 2 Kestrel. Really not much you can do. The Vanguard buys enough time for Tatsuki to get into a safe position. Glimmer shots over the wall. Not going to land. This is going to be Hammers rotating out of the jungle here. And no first blood just yet.
Not just yet. I've got to say, one thing that I was really impressed by with ViviQuiz last time was how they adjusted he adjusted his playstyle, because at the start he was using his gauntlets very offensively to start those engages, but as we went into the late game, he was holding on to it, using in the middle of the team fights to allow his teammates to escape, and I think that was really clever, and I would like to see that again, because their offensive engages, the moment he got them, were great.
Oh, hello, Aloha, and goodbye. Tatsuki's going to use those boots to get back in a safe position. Vanguard over the wall. This is Detonation Gaming taking a lot of damage. Hammers Velocity want to find a kill here, but just cannot quite do it. Tatsuki probably saying calculated there, but it dropped down about 15 health right there.
They're just not quite picking up the kill every single time. I think this is the second time that Tatsuki almost went down, but just not enough. But I think nonetheless, Aloha's doing a great job in terms of jungle aggression. He's really starving Tatsuki out, who's on 4 CS, and Aloha's sitting there at a really good score of 15. That's 3 times, or almost 4 times.
Now, I want to ask you about something. This is, I personally disagree with this. I'd like to see a Weapon Kestrel with a CP Gwen. Do you think what they're doing here with the CP Kestrel is the right call?
The thing about CP Kestrel is, I think she's really great if you're going to ranged heroes and there's no dive potential coming out from the opposing team. But with this Koshka there, she's not going to be able to use her active camo to escape. So what we're seeing Destination Gaming is a lot of very poke-heavy comp. They're going to have to rely on poking their opponents down before committing to a team fight.
Right, well, let's see if they can actually make a rotation and find something here. Aloha's just like set up a camp and living in the jungle right now of Detonation Gaming. There's almost nothing they can do barring moving as a unit, all 3 of them. Scout Trap down on the Tri-Bush will reveal the movements coming out of Detonation Gaming, so Aloha really should not be getting caught out here. And it looks like, once again, it's a free steal of this whole jungle rotation.
It's denying Tatsuki from so much. If you look at Koshka, she's investing into a lot of defense, which I think is a really good idea, because right now she needs the boots to give that extra mobility when she is sealing those camps. Oh, hang on, Detonation Gaming looking for some damage onto the turret, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they moved up here. They're looking for it. They don't find it, so it's just quick back from them. They're going to be moving down to the shop. Now, I see Aloha on the map taking a very similar trajectory down to the shop. They don't know exactly where he is, and it's No, they actually are going to be trying to make a play here. ViviQuiz, he's in a pretty bad place. Activates those boots, trying to get away. Not quite sure which direction he wants to go. Zio has his own boots. Target locked on. The forward barrage is there. That's going to be the self-vanguard on ViviQuiz. Zio taking a lot of damage, but this should be the Arden going down. Zio, are you going to be able to get the kill? Yes, he does. That's the potion right there. And it's going to be now Hammer's Velocity also securing up this mini miner as they did before.
Well, that's going to be first blood going towards Hammer's Velocity, and the gold actually is still very close. It's 900 gold, and the way that Hammer's Velocity have been playing, you'd expect it to be so much more than that. And Zio and Peace Royal, their farm is very similar, and Tatuki and Aloha, I think that's where the main difference lies, because since we last commentated on it, Tatuki's only got 7 and it was 4 last time.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes though, you don't necessarily have to have the same amount of farm depending on the matchup. Is this a matchup where you think it's actually pretty bad for the Kestrel?
Yeah, I think if Kestrel doesn't get the gold that she needs, it's going to be very, very difficult for her to ramp scale up in the later game, because right now she's not outputting any damage, and the Crystal Kestrel, there's a lot of... Oh, not going to get caught there. Oh, actually she is! Or not.
Nope, not going to be caught out there. Active Camo actually is such a great tool. If you see the opponent coming, they don't have knowledge of where you're hiding, you can definitely get away. And so Tatuki doing a good job playing a little bit more safely. And they're going to hang out in this lane as a group, not be caught by surprise, and I think it's a smart play by them. It looks like Tatuki actually is going to activate those boots and try to get into his opponent's jungle. Zio taking a lot of damage right here. Death from above is down, zoning him out, but Zio is down. Let's see if Detonation want to look for more. Tying this up 1-1 here, 6 minutes into this game. Aloha, little twirly death poke on the ViviQuiz, and he's going to back himself up. Goldminer wants some of this action as well.
Yeah, but they only pick up 1 kill there, which I actually think is really good trade-off for Detonation Gaming. It allows Peace Royal to pick up a little bit more farm. He's sitting a little bit more, and I think the next step for Detonation Gaming is that they should be going. Detonation Gaming, they should be going for objectives now to give them that gold, and if they take the first turret, it allows them to have a little bit more jungle control, and that helps Tatuki a little bit more, and I think they need to do that a bit earlier, because if they leave that turret too late, then that might be too late for Detonation Gaming as a whole.
Now, well, it looks like they're going to be too late to get down and contest this gold mine, so it's going to be a decent gold payout going the way of Velocity. A little bit of a net worth lead building for this team right now, but we haven't had any of those like major clashes, those major engagements yet, and it feels like they may be brewing as these teams starting to have all of their ultimates coming online.
Oh, we just saw the one-shot, 1 kill there. I'm waiting for Aloha's Yummy Cannon Frenzy, because he's been using that really well, and as a Koshko, the moment you get that, it's a great opportunity. He's got that Shatter Glass that's doing so much damage if he's able to jump in, but Detonation Gaming, they're just backing away every single time, and that's a very safe way of playing for them.
Yeah, I think they've done a great job not to be caught out right here. And the thing is, Aloha actually has to really choose the proper target and not overextend against this composition. Peace Royal making the rotation down, get a Vanguard from his buddy. They are getting flanked from all sides right now. Aloha taking the majority of the damage. Gauntlet's down. This is going to be a dead kitty. And right there, Aloha just overstepping himself and getting punished for it. Now has Zio gone too far? He does not have boots to get out of this one either. A nice Surrey strike to reposition. Zio's just going to try to trade 1 for 1 as he is definitely going to die here. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get a kill. It's going to be Zio going down. 2 kills the way of Detonation Gaming.
Yeah, Baines, there was just nothing they can do, and I think at first Velocity, they did have the early game advantage, but what Detonation Gaming are doing is that they're playing very carefully, and at the start of that, we saw Peace Royale and Tatuki switching places, so Tatuki was getting some of the farm from the lane,
right.
And Peace Royale went down with ViviQuiz, and they were able to take on the Koshka.
And it's a really nice rotation, and you saw what Hammers wanted to do. They were trying to flank and just pin them in from both sides, but Aloha took too much damage before Zio could get into position, so really tough for them, but I do understand the call they're trying to make there. But 8.5 minutes into this game, 3-1 advantage the way of Detonation Gaming. They are 1 game away from moving forward and knocking Velocity out of this tournament. Oh, the stress on this team right now, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine for either of those teams, it's such just an immense burden just knowing that. And Zio's taking a lot of damage there. Woo! It's not gonna hit.
I think he felt the wind rush past him as that one shot nearly catching. And it's going to be Tatuki and crew applying pressure. I like what's using ViviQuiz's positioning on that left side. He knows that Baines and Aloha are rotating around the backside. Aloha, he's going to jump in, takes a lot of damage. ViviQuiz on the front line. The ace side lands. They're landing a lot of that Glimmer Shot damage onto the whole team. Death from above is landing. Aloha's right back in. They need to get the fountain out. Oh, it's going to be Aloha going down. I really thought Aloha was going to be able to live through that and maybe take a kill, but it does not go the way of Velocity. 4-1 now for Detonation Gaming. Peace Royale very low. Zio looking like maybe he wanted to go for that kill, but holds back.
Oh, ViviQuiz, what are you doing?
ViviQuiz! Baiting out a Versus Judgment, potentially?
Why? His teammates are nowhere near close by. It just doesn't seem to be the right move to make right now because we're seeing Vains and Zio, they're moving into the jungle again.
Yeah.
And they're taking more farm away from Tatuki. And I just think at this stage when there's not that many deaths going anyway, every single death counts.
It definitely does. And you can see where potentially maybe he wanted the Arden to, well, that's going to be Aloha finding the kill in the lane there. And it looks like he didn't even have to use the ultimate there. Very easy for him to find a kill if he does get on target. Tuki and ViviQuiz are going to look to try and defend this turret. Do not want it to go down with Aloha on very low health. I'm not sure that they want to dive in just yet. They are holding the fountain. They do have the Adagio. Let's see, are they trying to bait this out right here? That's going to be the fountain coming out as they eat a couple turret shots. And honestly, I got to say, that's a bit of a missed opportunity.
Oh.
One shot is going to land on the Vains, doesn't find the kill. But right now, Velocity are battered and bruised, and they're going to have to think about how they're rotating.
They're taking a lot of damage from the poke coming from Tatuki, and what's actually really scary to think is that he only has that energy battery. He's running out very, very quickly, so he's not able to use his glimmer shots as much as he would like. The moment he picks up more energy regeneration, it's going to make it even more difficult for Hammer's Velocity.
It really will, and with this Frostburn, the Buckshot Bonanza, all of these things combined, it's actually going to be really hard. Once Velocity decide to try and engage, I feel like they almost have to all in on one of these targets.
They absolutely have to. There's just so much there, and I think the main target for them is going to be Aloha because Aloha's the one jumping in. Hang on, Vains is getting so low.
Yeah, well, they know that there's no... actually, the verse is up right now. I did misspeak on that one. ViviQuiz is going to activate those boots, try to get back into a safer position. Tatuki, the death from above's landing right here. They want to follow. Zio has a lot of damage. The fountain comes out, but that's going to be Detonation losing their Kestrel. And now Aloha wants more. He's going to jump in. Are they going to dive under the tier 2 turret? They get the Gwen. Are they going to do ViviQuiz? He does one to position, but he's going to go down. That's the ace for Hammer's Velocity. Very nice play.
What a great ace. So Detonation Gaming were the ones that started off with the advantage in terms of the damage they were outputting. And I think the mistake that they made was Tatuki trying to get a bit of damage down. He stayed a little bit long to try and land that glimmer shot, and I think we're about to see that here. So Vains, this is the start of the fight, taking a lot of damage. The gauntlet gets thrown down, but he's able to escape. And the ace side does miss. And I think this is going to be the key moment we're about to see here is when Tatuki pauses, gets stunned by the death from above, and as a Crystal Kestrel, you need to be in the back line, which she wasn't, and gets a yummy catnip frenzy as well. And I think this is a moment where everything kind of just falls apart for Detonation Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, though, and that's the beauty of this, right? You can have one person make a mistake, everything falls apart. You have to act as a unit here, and Velocity taking a little bit better fight there.
And they get the turrets as well, so they're getting that small gold lead. I think it was very, very close before, but now they've drawn a nice 2k gold lead.
Yeah, and they were able to get that gold miner during the replay there as well.
Yeah, and you know, Zio, he's got that breaking point now, which I think is going to be really scary.
Oh, it's scary. It's scary. We've talked about this before. You get that Sour Blade, the breaking point, and you want a couple other things. You want to have your boots active so you get into a fight, you know that you can reposition or get yourself out of a dangerous situation. And if you have an infusion, things are really starting to come together. Zio's in a great place. Aloha, he jumps forward, trying to find a target. He's in and out, abusing the move speed of that Koshka, making Playoff Beard proud here. Look at this Buckshot Bonanza coming out with the Glimmer shots. One shot, one block from Vains. Nicely played right there, because honestly, if that connected on Zio, that was going to be a dead sky.
Yeah, Zio took so much damage just from the Glimmer shots and the Buckshot, as you were saying. The Velocity, they're actually doing a really good job of positioning when Tatuki is poking, because the splash damage coming out from the Crystal Kestrel is a lot. So by standing a little bit further apart, they're avoiding a majority of the damage coming out from Tatuki.
Oh. See, they can continue to do so. Once again, Velocity taking that mid away, taking as much away from Detonation Gaming as they possibly can. Small net worth lead going their way. They're up 1 kill right now. We're about 14 minutes into this game. As we get into this, significant mid portion of the game, Kraken's going to be coming out here pretty soon. These fights are ever more important right now. You cannot afford to make any mistakes, have any bad positioning, as Velocity want to keep Detonation pinned in. They want to choke them out. Get this jungle, constantly just take it away from Detonation. Detonation just hanging out as a group. They move into the bush. The flares are out. It's a vision game right now. Element of surprise is almost everything in these fights. A lot of flares coming out once again. They know that Scout's up there, but Detonation, a very interesting position. They've chose to put themselves where Velocity can rotate from behind.
The Camel.
They know.
Oh my god!
Okay. Zatuki is going to rotate backwards. Can they turn this around? They've baited Velocity into this. Is it going to work out for them? Peace Royale's down. Velocity have the favorite in this fight. Zatuki's down. Davey Quiz, he's not even moving. That's the ace for Velocity. They baited themselves.
That was so good coming out from Velocity, and I've got to say, at the very start of the fight, when we had the active camouflage there by Tatuki, and they just walked straight into it.
I thought this was going to be
triple. That was so much damage coming out for them. But the thing is, with this Crystal Caster, she has to wait for her 4 glimmer shots. So she's just standing there, not doing anything. Peace Royale's taking so much damage, and that's the main issue. They don't have the Crucible, they just get completely stunned up. Oh, that was a quick turnaround there.
Absolutely, and you know, this is one of the things, every single time you watch Velocity, when they are in the nice form, the practiced up form that we know of this team, they can take down almost anybody, and it's a play like that right there. I mean, when it seems like everything's going to go against you, well, you have 3 people walk into an active camo and you turn it around like that, it's just phenomenal.
I mean, we could all see it coming. You could just see them step onto it, and you're like, oh no, that's going to hurt, and it did. But it's coming down to that Crystal Castro again. Crystal Castro, it's very difficult to play because you have to be able to burst things down very quickly, and if you can't, it makes it so difficult, especially when you're going against a weapons guy who's got a breaking point, who's looking for those sustained team fights.
Well, right now it's going to be Velocity on this crack, and Flare came out from Detonation Gaming. They revealed off those scout traps right now. Jingyi, how about these items? Do you think everybody has what they need to get in here for a fight?
I think that by what I was wanting to say is just that are we going to say one shot, one kill, which comes too early.
Of course, when you do have these global abilities, you like to throw them out and potentially steal that Kraken off. It's not going to happen here, though. If they don't get in there, this is going to be going the way of Velocity. They can't lose the Kraken and the fight. Koshka able to secure that. Aloha doing a good job to make sure that goes away. But look at this damage that it's already taking so quickly. Detonation Gaming cannot afford to be caught here. Have a Kraken marching down the lane and losing a hero. They're doing a good job getting a lot of damage down. But Velocity also do not want a free Kraken to go the way of Detonation. Say, when will they decide to make their move here? Oh, look around the backside. This is Team Sneaky right here. It's Aloha, but it's the flare out, so it's not a total surprise. Aloha, he's going to go on to Peace Royale. Peace Royale turns around. That's the burst coming out, only landing on the Viviquiz. Viviquiz's Gauntlet, not the best one I've ever seen, but the stun actually out onto Aloha. Nice active camo activation there. Zio, he's trying to find one of these targets. Breaking point starting to stack up. That's the fountain out. Are they going to find one? Yes, they get Peace Royale. Oh, Hammer's Velocity are in a great place right now. If they play safely, they can end this game right now. We need some godlike plays to come out from Detonation Gaming if they're going to stay in this. They have Zio down right now. Can they get this? The Kraken very low. The last Vayne Crystal turret's gone down. Aloha's going to get that heal up from Vayne's. Vayne's circling around. Yummy Catnip Frenzy right onto Satuki. They're turning around back and forth right now. They cannot do it. It is Roamer on Roamer right now. And it looks like Vayne's is just going to turn and tuck tail and get out of here. Peace Royale, he's up though.
He blocks the buckshot.
Well, yeah, blocked the buckshot, but looks like he's going to go down right here. Adagio's not the most mobile of heroes in the game. And this is going to be the ace. This is going to be the ace for Detonation Gaming. He stuck around just a little too long. I mean, you understand why they make that call to Shrine in the game there. Sometimes it backfires.
They absolutely could have, because the only person out was a Crystal Castro, and they knew if we just wait for those 4 glimmer shots, then she can't do much damage. And you know, with the one shot, one kill, it's so difficult to try and aim it at a Koshka. But the active camouflage and then the stun on top of the Koshka was just too much. And it was a really clever use of the Aegis at the right moment so that Peace Royale didn't die.
Really nice plays on both sides. Guys, we are 18.5 minutes into this one right here. I think the first one went about 25 minutes or so.
Yeah, it was a long game.
It was a pretty long game there, but right now this is back and forth, but definitely Velocity in the lead right here. It's going to be Peace Royale back to base, and look at the scouts you can actually see on the map. They have essentially like a scout trap right on the Vayne Crystal of Detonation. I
mean, Hammer's Velocity, they have 2 scout traps right in the base, and Detonation Gaming have absolutely no idea, so they know exactly when the whole team is moving out.
Right, well, Hammer's Velocity, they're going to be clearing out the scout traps of Detonation Gaming as they move through the jungle here. Vayne's flaring as many bushes as possible. They cannot be caught by surprise. I think also, you know, you look back to the last series, that's the weakness for TSM is walking through some bushes and getting caught out here. Nobody can afford to do so. A nice block as the gauntlet comes down. Zio able to get himself out of that one. Aloha looking to maybe sneak around to the backside here. I don't know if Detonation know exactly what's happening.
I think they do.
Well, he decides not to go for it, so it's going to be quite all right here. But they are going to grab up this mini mine. Kraken has spawned here, so Velocity, as long as they just play safely, they are in a great position. If they get this Kraken, it's pretty much GG.
Exactly, and I think one key thing to point out is that Vivikoi still does not have that Crucible. The number of times they have been caught and forced to disengage by that Versa Judgment is just too high.
Right now, Velocity, they go ahead and just flex right here down this choke point. They do not want to let Detonation have a free fight. This is going to be so important for both of these teams. This fight right now for Detonation could bring them right back into a lead position. Teams poking on Kraken. They're flaring back and forth in these bushes. Every Vainglory player knows this little ring around the rosy that happens when you get into the late game and people start rotating around this Kraken through these bushes. You're just flaring it out, dropping scout traps right here. And these teams showing exactly how to do so. Detonation not getting caught. Hammers not taking anything too aggressive. Setting up in one of these sneaky little bushes once again. There's that flare. Nice job coming out of VVQ. That's going to be the gauntlet down. Lands onto Aloha. Vane's taking good damage, but the Versa is going to come out. It stuns Vivi Quiz, but Tajuki's on the backside. Peace Royale's getting lit up. Peace Royale's dead. This is going to be Velocity taking the fight right here. Aloha taking a lot of damage, but Tajuki should be going down. Then this should be Velocity taking the game right here. Barring a miracle, Tajuki, he can't even teleport. Well, he's going to get a kill, but that's it.
That's it.
Velocity, they take game 2. They're going to tie it up 1-1 here. And we're going to our third game.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. Both of these games so far have